I've had a few problems putting this car together, I think is the politest way of saying it. In fact, to be fair, I think it was easier to build the man cave than to put this car together. The fit of it is, shall we say, or it leaves something to be desired. It's been absolutely awful, to the point that trying to get the interior in and also the chassis put in as well, both of the doors actually fell off. Yeah, because I mean the doors themselves weren't fitting properly. I've been looking at ways to see if I can actually kind of get those working again, but it looks as though I'm more than likely going to have to glue those doors in permanently. More than anything else. It has been a right struggle to get it up to this point. Even then, things still aren't lined up properly, which is a shame, really. To be fair, 'cause I think I mean it's a nice car. I mean the Pontiac Firebird is a nice car. It's just a shame that MPC have completely and utterly screwed over this design. Really, I mean I've looked at it really. And these door hinges, if you look at them, they're absolutely straight as an arrow. Yet the area that they go into is curved. So how the hell they think that that's going to actually work, I do not know. But yeah, it hasn't. I think what I'm going to need to try and do is try and file down this side here to try and get it into the groove that this part is meant to fit into, and see if we can actually try and get them straight from that point. And if we can, then I might be able to open them up again. But if not, I think what I'm just going to need to do is just get them into the best position that I possibly can, and then just glue them together or glue the door shut. I mean the panel gaps are so bad that I'm not going to be able to glue any of the door structure in anyway, so the only way that I'm going to be able to do it is by actually gluing this part in. As I say, there's just not the panel gaps around the front and the back and this, you know, the bottom of the door are so big that you're not going to be able to glue those in place. So we just have to see what we can do with that, and take it from there really. So I think this part is just going to slow the build down a little bit. I mean apart from that we haven't really got much left to go. We've only got really the hood to go on, the front and rear bumper, the spoiler, a couple of bits under the engine bay, wing mirrors, the front windscreen and the rear lights, and that's it really. So there's not, oh, and the tyres as well, the wheels and the tyres have got to go on, and that's about it really left to go on the car. So there's not much. I mean it should technically only be a couple of hours worth of work on this, but I think it's going to stretch to a little bit longer than that, trying to whistle everything into place. I was kind of hoping that I would have got this finished by now, but MPC have made sure that that's not going to be possible. But there you go. As soon as I got some more work done to this wee beastie, I will come back to you. This Pontiac is still fighting me constantly all of the way. I'm trying to get the windscreen into place, but it keeps on popping out. If we look there, I've actually got this corner where it keeps on popping out actually clamped, and hopefully it won't come out anymore. I have been using Elmer's glue for that. If that doesn't work, I think I might need to swap to the Super Glue Gold. This stuff doesn't actually leave any residue behind at all, so it'd be perfectly safe to actually use that on the windscreen surround. So I just have to see what happens with that. Well, whilst I'm waiting, I've got the rear bumper in with the rear lights. I've also got the front bumper in too. Just waiting for those to clear up. I'm just waiting for the windscreen to dry off. We've got all of the wheels put together as well now. One thing I have actually noticed with this as well is the fact that the wheels are just a little bit too small for the tyres, or the tyres are just a little bit too big for the wheels, whichever way you want to put that, which is a bit of a bummer, but there you go. Again, another consequence, I guess, of buying an MPC kit. Yeah, just struggling along with this at the moment. Slowed right down. I mean, to get to this stage, since the last update on this, it's taken me about 2 days, which is absolutely stupid. I should have actually had this all put together and finished by now, but it is basically fighting me all of the way. And yeah, if I suggest to anybody that I'm going to buy another MPC kit, please remind me not to, because this is pants, it really is. But never mind, it's kind of, I've got to say, it's actually taken the joy of doing the vehicle out of it for me now, because it's just fighting me that much. I'm not sure whether you're going to see it, but the hinges there, I'm not sure whether I've shown you those or not, but yeah, I've actually taken those down quite a bit to see if that will actually help get those in place properly, but I doubt if it will, because as I say, these hinges should be curved to conform to the inside of the wing where they fit in, but they're not. Somehow MPC think that you can get a square thing in a round hole, you know, but that's just the way that they are. I mean, I suppose you could do it if you had a big hammer, but yeah, never mind. As soon as I made some more progress on this, which as I say is slow going at the moment, I will come back to you. Surprise, 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 and more surprise. We've actually managed to get the windscreen in now on this car, and it's actually, at the moment, it's looking as though it's going to stay in. So I'm going to risk it for a biscuit, because I'm willing for a shilling, and I'm going to attempt to try and finish this car off. I know that's amazing, but yeah, I'm just going to see what happens. Just going to try my best and try and get everything done. There's only the 2 doors that need to go. I say only the 2 doors need to go on. I need to get one of the sun visors back on, because that fell off whilst I was trying to clamp the windscreen into place whilst I was waiting for the glue to dry. So I've got that. I've got the 2 wing mirrors that need to go on. I've got the rear view mirror that needs to go on the inside. I've got a decal, and I've also got to put some clear orange and some clear red over the marker lights on the side and the front of the car as well. And hopefully that, as they say, will be that. So hopefully that won't take too long. He says, knowing that it will. Anyway, that's about it for the moment, guys. I will come back to you when this has been finished, so expect that to be somewhere in the 23rd century, I guess. I'm calling this one done, basically. Got a bit fed up with it, to be fair, because the whole thing, nothing was fitting properly, and unfortunately as well, when I was building it, I didn't realise it at the time, but the paint, after about sort of 4 weeks on the body, was still a bit tacky, actually. Well, it wasn't tacky, but it's left marks all over the paintwork, so I'm not really happy about that, to be fair, especially when I was using strips of masking tape to hold the doors in place. Yeah, we just got some really nasty marks in the paintwork, especially on this side around there, and I just can't get rid of them. I've tried having the bodywork over a heat source, but you know, nothing too hot to try and cure the paint, and that's just not happening. And I'm not sure why that's happening, to be fair, but it has, which kind of, yeah, this was a bit of a disaster from beginning to start, really. I mean, the interior actually looks really, really nice. I'm not sure whether we're going to be able to get any sort of up-close interior shots. I daren't move this car about too much because nothing really fits properly. The wheels keep falling off. The tyres keep coming unseated from the rims, even though I have tried to super glue them in. You know, so yeah, it's a bit of a pain in the bum, really. But you can see there the dashboard looks quite nice, and if I try and move it up just ever so slightly so we can get a look at the dials, you can see there the dials are looking quite good too. So yeah, I'm not really sure what's been going on with this kit. I think black seems to be my nemesis for some reason. I don't know what it is about black paint, but for some reason black paint seems to be my nemesis. And if we just sort of move it around to the front end, and that's what she looks like from the front end, and then obviously you've got the T-top that goes in as well on either side. The other thing about this kit as well actually is the fact that the windscreen is the wrong shape for the hole, and you can't really get it in properly. I've tried all sorts of things, and in the end I ended up using super glue, and then unfortunately I got a bob of super glue on there as well, which didn't help, and of course you can't get that off once it's on there. So yeah, I was quite annoyed actually really about this, and I think I kind of started to give up with it, which is why it's not really a fantastic job done on this, to be fair, but hey ho, that's what happens. There's nothing stopping me from later on actually, you know, when I'm when I've kind of gotten over this, there's nothing wrong with me stripping it down and redoing it, to be fair, because there's no real decals on it apart from the one at the back for the registration plate. There are no other decals on it on the outside, so you know, later on down the road there's nothing stopping me really from taking the whole body apart and dunking it, cleaning it, and then redoing it again. But I think that's going to be about it for this build, guys, as I say, because it really has kind of peeved me off, this one. Not really happy with it at all, but you know, these things happen, so never mind. But anyway, thanks for following along on the build, it's much appreciated, and thank you to all the subscribers that I've just had recently. That is also very well much appreciated. So I will look forward to seeing you in the Mustang build up. So until then, thanks for watching, and as always, please do take care.